How you going, people? All right. Quite a few people have sent me these pink bounty hunters. Lipstick bounty hunters get sued. Let's take a look at their operations here, and I'll give you my opinion. Now, remember, bounty hunters get pretty good leeway on what they can do, what they're allowed to do. When somebody gets out on bond, pretty much whoever posts the bail owns them. They can search them. They don't need probable cause. They don't need reasonable suspicion. And they can go, you know what? I'm taking away my bail, and I'm putting you back in the court of the custody. I'm taking you custody and turning you back over the courts. I don't want to cover your bail. So because the bail guy is only getting 10%, and then, or 1%, whatever they charge, and then they have to be responsible if you don't show up, or if you commit crimes, or if you do something else, then they can be responsible for the full bail. So let's take a look at these bounty hunters here.
Little guy, he's 5'7", 170, little husky, 35 years old. He's got a $100,000 case for sales of...
She calls him a little guy, but he gives these three women a run for their money.
Meth, possession, assault with a deadly weapon. So he likes to fight, and he likes to sell drugs. So I called him up, and I have him meeting us here at the Arby's in Huntington Beach. And he's kind of hinky at first, but I told him that the agent who met him originally, old lady, she screwed up, forgot to take his thumbprint and his photograph, and I need to have that done before I turn the file. The company hired us to revoke his company for false information, breach of contract, several things. They want him in custody.
Okay, so this is in a public place, and this is where kind of people get upset with bail agents. Because when they go into a public place or a house, they can do whatever they want to take this guy in custody, and they're pretty much not going to be charged. So are they endangering everybody in here by doing this in a public place? Hey, they work for the courts. Government's going to protect government, and bail agents are part of the government. They're working for the government. They're guaranteeing the government that they're going to deliver something. So that's kind of why bounty hunters get away with stuff. So this is your guy. He sees him. She calls him a little guy. He didn't look that little to me, but okay.
Stand up. Stand up.
So they have another pink patrol coming in here. These two people are just sitting here when this girl comes over and grabs this guy. This woman is just sitting here like, what's going on? Like she knows it's going to happen. I kind of think she's involved. She might have been the one that was getting the other information, but... So she comes in here with a big old gun. These people are still sitting here. People, I don't know how many times I got to tell you, whether it's cops or civilians, if somebody produces, and this is a gun that shoots, I think, rubber bullets or tasers, or they got more damn gadgets than Inspector Gadget Cousteau, whatever. But anyway... These people are all sitting around. I'm like, I'm getting the hell, I'm taking at least getting in a position of cover, creating distance, exiting the property, going for my gun in case it goes bad. I mean, there's a lot of things that people should be doing. This guy is standing here with his hands up. Here comes another pink patrol here. She's got pepper spray, mace, electrical charge, whatever, juju beans, shooting chitlins at him. I don't know what the hell's going on. These women just go crazy on this dude. This woman picks up her papers and leaves like I knew this was going to happen, although she's got a pen, which is a great weapon, either accidentally gets stuck into somebody or can intentionally if this guy wanted to grab a weapon. Notice the great control hold. Notice that 3 women with weapons and 1 guy gets away. Rick, that's not right because women are just as good as men in there. They can do anything to me. All right, whatever. Keep with your liberal, dribble ignorance. And he breaks away. Shocker. Who could have predicted that? Where's Ray Charles? He knew it. So this is called the T-shirt drag maneuver. And this guy isn't trying to take them out. If he would have thrown a couple punches, he would have knocked them out and got them off him. But he's more trying to get away than attack them, in my book. ground. She's down. Oh no. So somebody's in the car. You notice the brake lights and the backup lights. He's banging. This is his getaway. I think they might have said his brother or sister. Somebody tried to help him. So we had 3 women. One went to the ground. Now this one's on him. I think he gets shot in the eye right here by one of these guns. One of them shooting taser darts, or the other one's shooting rubber bullets, and his eye gets pretty messed up. Tuck and roll. Tuck and roll. Not waddle and flop like a turtle, upside down turtle. Rick, you can't pick on her. She's wearing pink. Whatever. There goes some sort of cartridge or something that got kicked off. This one's still holding a gun. These 2 are in a fight. This one's pretty much just following and screaming, because that always helps. So she's gonna, this is called the door handle stop maneuver. They taught you that in the Pink Police Academy. If you hang on to the door when a car's backing up, it can't back up. She probably went to the school of asp and pepper spray and everything else. Learned all these great techniques from watching videos. Smart enough to let go when it drove away. Now, I think this guy they're saying is a brother or somebody helping him, blocking traffic or helping him get away. He almost backs up into the car.
Get him!
Okay, it was a friend.
You want to be able to look and see if you got any license plates or anything?
So, are bounty hunters exempt from road laws, and can they drive crazy? No, they are not. And even if they're chasing a fugitive, they can be cited or arrested for reckless driving. So, now when they're in a house or grabbing or contact, that's one thing. But they get no exemption or protection when they're running cars. Well, not in any of the states that I know of. If there's a bounty hunter out there that, gives me a statute from some state that allows them to do that, I don't know.
Yeah, he just wrapped it.
And I can't remember. I have several videos on this. Okay, in this little newscast, they're interviewing them. Part of the Pink Women Patrol here.
Some lady bounty hunters roughing up 35-year-old Daniel Duvall, a criminal with a history. Now, it happened inside an Arby's restaurant last month, but Duvall believes they went to...
Now, he ends up suing them.
Can you believe that? He joins us now, along with Dan Gillen, to tell you the story.
Thank you.
Dan, why don't you set up the story?
So this is the lawyer saying his client, he's wearing an eyepiece, and I'll show you a picture of his eye here in a minute. It's kind of messed up. I don't know if he, it looks like it's infected when he shows it, but he's saying he's blind, but I'm not sure.
The viewers know
Sure.
exactly what happened.
Well, the big picture is Mr. Duvall. He has a criminal past. He was out on bond.
But what are we talking about? What kind of a
Just
criminal
it's
record?
drugs. If I were to nag about this whole thing, it'd be if Mr. Duvall were he liked alcohol and he drank alcohol, he'd be an alcoholic. But
So his lawyer's trying to justify that it's not his fault that he uses drugs. It's a victimless crime, blah, 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 blah. Same old stuff. If everything was legal, then there wouldn't be any cops or any police brutality or nobody getting arrested. Well, no shit. There'd be no reason to arrest anybody, so nobody'd be complaining. That's a shocker.
because he likes certain drugs, he's a criminal. And that really boils down to he has a drug issue and he's working on it. No violent past, no robberies, no bank robberies, no assaults, no...
You hear this? No robberies, no violent attack, etc.? In a minute, I'm going to show you an article where this dude is arrested while out on bond for killing his uncle. But, well, hang on. Let's get to what a great guy he is on his way to doctor school.
Didn't
No
hurt
hurting
anybody.
people.
No. He's got a drug problem, so he's got a criminal past. Now, he's out on bond on March 18th. He hadn't paid his premium in full, and so his bonds person decided to hire these dirt cheap bounty hunters.
Cheap bounty hunters?
They're cheap. They're doing their dirty deeds for really nothing, because they like to promote themselves on TV. So they come in and they decide they're going to arrest Mr.
And what are
Duvall.
these ladies called? The lipstick?
The lipstick bounty hunters. They have their own criminal past. They started out trying to do bail work themselves, and they got in all sorts of trouble with the insurance commissioner. In fact, pled guilty.
So basically, he just trashes the Pink Patrol.
So that's their past. They decide they're going to arrest Mr. Duvall. They lie to him, get him to an Arby's up in Huntington Beach where there's a bunch of people around.
They lied to him. A lot of people lie to crooks in order to catch them. Hate to break it to you.
Him, public, innocent people, and they march in, and you see it. They basically assault him. He reacts with self-defense, and he can take it from there.
Okay, well, let's talk about how'd they get you to the Arby's, by the way?
They called me up like 2 days prior, but I was out of town on a job, so they called and said they need a fingerprint, and it was they sitting there with the lady belt. They were working for the chick that did the file.
Okay.
Either his lawyer bought him this shirt, or picked it up at the cleaners, or did something, because defense attorneys, if you go, when I was working in the DA's office, if you get to the defense, where the defense attorneys work, they have a, like, clothing room with jackets and shirts and pants, and they get them donated, and they got ties and all kind of stuff paid for by the taxpayers to keep them clean. And then when these crooks come in and they're getting free legal advice for the 30th time from all their crimes, their defense attorney goes in and lets them pick out some really nice clothes to show up for their court appearances. So the jury, the stupid jury, the jury that wants to let everybody go because they don't have forensic evidence out the yin-yang to convict everybody, you get these career criminals, and it's all a big pony show. But I digress.
Okay.
So they called me up. They told me they need a fingerprint and a picture for the insurance company. So I said, no problem. I'll be back in town on Monday. They said, all right, meet at the Arby's at 6. So I showed up, and I was there.
And then they roughed you up.
And I was talking to the bail agent that my people did the business with, and she never said nothing to me, just that I need to call the bail bondsman. And she said she was going to give me the number, and then all of a sudden I look up and this chick, runs up, tries to grab me. I've been to the courts twice, and for some reason, they've never had this happen before, where somebody doesn't get busted and then re-bail out, that show up at the courthouse and try to put a new bond there, so they're like, not pulling my case up, So I think that...
Now this guy has a point. He showed up to court twice. So he's saying, and his point sounds reasonable, that if I showed up to court twice, why wouldn't a court revoke my bail? Because when the court bails you out, it is your bail person or whoever posted your bounty's responsibility. They can take you into custody or revoke your bail. The courts can also revoke your bail. I've had people bail out before, find out that the case is bigger than I thought, and I would go back and do what's called a bail enhancement, an affidavit for bail enhancement. I would lay out my new probable cause on why I think his bail needs to be enhanced and why he should be in jail. And he may have bailed out on 50 grand. And then I'll get the judge to up his bail to 200 grand. And then I can go rearrest him because now he's not out on bail unless his bail, he has to go through the process to see if the bail bond will bail him out on a 200 grand bail. So the court can pull his bail, the cops can raise his bail, or the bail agent can say, you know what, you're too much of a risk. You're not following my rules. I'm not posting your bail. You're going back to jail. You get someone else to bail you out. Now, I'm not sure what happens with the 10% money that he pays. I would assume in a contract it says, if you violate the rules, you do not get your money back. I'm sure it says that in the contract.
I just really don't know what they're doing because this really never happens.
Well, the
So did you go to the hospital, the doctor afterwards?
I've been to the hospital. I went to the eye doctor. He says that I'm pretty much blind.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we went this morning.
Damage.
Retinal damage.
Really? He's pretty much blind. Well, he can get an acting job in a pirate movie. Come on, people. Where's his little parrot? Rick, you can't say that. Whatever.
He's got a big ulcer on his cornea, and these things don't tend to heal on their own. I don't know if surgery will fix it or not. But
And the doctor will testify in court and everything.
oh, yeah. Well, there's images of it. We have images of it. But this is not a true professional bounty hunter situation. I mean, bounty hunters are actually needed in our society,
Right.
and most of them are great professional.
And the reason why he said that is because he knows that most of his clients need bail. And he doesn't want to piss off all the bounty hunters to where now nobody's going to want him as a client because bail agents will be like, you know what, he went on TV and trashed the bail agents. We're not posting bail for any of his clients. So there's a lot of that, don't piss off the people that scratch your back.
And these women clearly don't have a clue what they're doing, and they shouldn't be in the business.
It's almost like they have to try extra hard to prove themselves because I don't know what the deal is. But what happens next?
Well, we file a lawsuit tomorrow. I'm actually going to try to get a restraining order against them. The bottom line is there's plenty of bounty hunters out there. This bondsman really wants him under arrest. First of all, is a bondsman really...
That's an interesting proposition. If he gets a restraining order, and I don't think a judge will do that. I think the only way a judge will issue a restraining order is if the bail agent who posted his bond comes and agrees that he won't use them voluntarily before he'll issue a restraining order. Because you can't get out on bail and then get a restraining order on your bail agent that they won't put you back in jail. I mean, that would kind of defeat the purpose of having bail agents post bail. So I don't think there's going to be a restraining order issued. But it sounds good if you're a lawyer and you're talking to people that don't know any better.
Wanted his bond back, he would just have shown up in court with Mr. Duvall twice before and gotten rid of it. What they're trying to do right now is arrest him to save face because they're so humiliated by the video that they created, and also they're just mad at him and they want to, exact vengeance on him. But we're going to file a lawsuit tomorrow. We're going to name the bounty hunters themselves. There's 4 of them. The bondsman himself, he's out of Ventura, and then the surety company. I mean, they're the ones with all the money. And this is going to be millions of dollars to compensate Mr. Duvall.
Bail agents have good insurance, but they rarely ever get sued and have to pay. So insurance companies are a pretty safe place to insure because bail agents are, like I said, they're pretty much the government working with the government, and they're protected.
For the loss of an eye. I mean, you just can't do that. You can't shoot somebody in the eye and think that no one's going to care about them.
They brought out a gun in a public place. I mean, nobody else would know there were rubber bullets in that gun.
Right.
You know, that was scary. That would scare everybody in there. And I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Oh, it was so scary. Rubber bullets. I didn't know. It was scary.
I don't know. So
I think the next is, and what there should be a prosecutor looks at this and says this was assault, battery, and it resulted in great bodily injury. These women already have a criminal history.
Well, battery would be if I went to another person and battered them. These people were on official business, exercising their rights under the bail agreement to take him into custody. He was in their custody, and his resistance caused them to use that force, because he violated his contract and he refused to come in or to turn himself in or to comply when they took him to custody. I'm not defending these women by no means. I think these women are trying to make a YouTube channel and just doing crazy crap, videotaping out there. But they're so well protected, it doesn't really matter whether they videotape and have a YouTube channel or not. The law's behind them when they're revoking someone's bail.
And they're still on the streets. They're still working.
Bounty hunters. Barely hanging in there is bail people themselves. There's actually 2 sisters and a brother, and they've got all sorts of problems with the insurance commissioner because of past antics. But I keep getting phone calls by other real bounty hunters, and they keep saying these women are an embarrassment to our industry, and we want to help you however we can.
I hope he's recording these phone calls, because he just made a statement that kind of accuses them, and if they wanted to go libel on him, he would have to produce proof on who the agents that called him and said that. Otherwise, he just made this up to slander them. But I digress.
Wow.
No,
that says a lot.
It does say a lot.
That says a lot. So let me ask you, do you have a message, and what's your goal with all this?
I just think, these ladies should be put out of business. I mean, they're dangerous. They're running around with weapons and they're shooting at people in public places. What if a baby ricocheted and hit a kid?
Right.
Oh, yeah. What if a baby was there? I mean, I'm out there selling drugs and buying drugs and probably stealing to get drugs and fighting with my bail agents and going to jail and getting out. But I'm really concerned about a baby. Really? Are you kidding me? Okay, and now in this video, they're showing their side, the lipstick bail bonds, Pink Patrol. The $52 million lawsuit was dismissed. Well, I wonder why.
The right to remain silent in pink handcuffs. When you jump down and inside you're gonna run, cause they will chase you. Make jail with a bummer, but at least you got to ride in a hot.
So this is the guy that 30 seconds ago was worried about the kids because they had a gun. Daniel Lee Duvall, charged with murdering uncle at a birthday party. You just can't make this shit up. I mean, are you serious? So, this guy had a lawsuit. He was all great. And his eye looks pretty good here. What happened to his patch? What happened to his pirate costume? Well, Rick, it's like the big neck brace that people wear. It's only convenient while you're in court or making public appearances, then it always goes away. Rick, you can't say that. Maybe. Shut up, you big dummies.
Serving up injustice for fusion, they coming through the school you. So if you go to jail, if you're out on the run, cause they catching fugitives, all chicks and no guns. Lipstick, bell bond, please don't run. Lipstick, bell bond, I'll always bring you back. Lipstick, bell bond, please don't
So this is pretty much just a catchphrase for these guys. And lastly, this is where they kind of talk about how they went and got him in custody, and they're kind of defending their actions. I should have put this before the guy was arrested again, but I'm not sure when they hooked him, but let's see what they have to say here.
I don't understand why people think you have to explain the whole situation during the struggle. That's ridiculous. It's hilarious. We're going to show you 3 scenarios on what would happen if you walk up to somebody who carries a gun, who's a badass drug dealer, and doesn't want to go to jail. What could possibly happen?
Now, this is just flat-out propaganda lies. They got some joker in here playing like and they want to act like they get stabbed every time they arrest somebody. Believe me, if somebody was trying to hurt them, they wouldn't be in business, because it doesn't look that hard to hurt them.
Bounty hunters, you're under arrest. Your bond has...
Oh. Yeah, that can happen. Wow. Our job's dangerous. Wow. That means we should be able to shoot everybody all the time. Oh. Actually, these are all things that are going to happen in real life if they mess with the wrong person.
Bounty hunters, your bond has been revoked.
Into custody.
We don't understand all the attention this video is getting. This is one of many, many, many cases we've worked since 1999. And one of many, many videos we have on
That's
YouTube.
A lot of pink.
I didn't want to hit you or anybody else that might be in the little picnic area because we were still in the
that
picnic
pink in the
area.
background?
One
Pink,
of
pink, pink, pink,
many,
pink, pink, pink,
many,
pink, pink.
many cases we've worked since 1999.
Everything's
And
pink.
one of many, many videos
Oh,
we have
Rick,
on
why are
YouTube.
you picking on
I
pink?
didn't
I'm
want
not.
to hit you or anybody else that might be in
Just
the
some
little
people who are
picnic area
obsessed
because we
with
were
it
still in
tend to
the
be
picnic area,
freaking
and he was swinging.
weirdos.
So when I saw that he was
Yeah.
still swinging on you, I had no choice but to
Yeah,
stop him.
exactly. You did, yeah, you did.
It
you
wasn't
did a
to.
great
It
job,
wasn't
great
to.
job.
It wasn't at that point. It wasn't to really necessarily arrest him. It was to keep him. From
They would not be
harming
doing
him.
this if the
And
lawsuit
then
was
when
still
I
going
went
on.
to try to trip him. I tried to trip him. That was to try to arrest him.
That's the thing.
But
You tried.
I tried.
Right.
But again, because I wasn't trying to harm him or hurt him or any of us to get hurt and preserve even his safety, I didn't push him. I didn't whack him with the weapon and take him
Most
down.
exercise
and
they had all
I could've.
month
Lieutenant
running
Duval
across
is
the
just
parking
not
lot.
some average person on the street. He is actually on bail, so therefore he's in custody of the bail bond company, and they have the right to revoke the bond. So because he's in custody, we have to approach him as a defendant in custody, and he doesn't have the rights that an average person does. He's actually out on 3 felony cases and possession of a firearm, a felon in possession of a firearm, and enhancements would be.
But he was worried about the kids when you guys had rubber guns, and his attorney said he was worried about the kids when he had his pirate eye on.
Committing crimes while out on bail, which in California we call crime, bail crime. We are still working the Daniel Lee Duval case. Although his attorney has been hiding him, we have.
I think this is where they go in his house
as
and arrest him with the
to
pink
his
handcuffs.
whereabouts. Apparently, somebody wanted to give him up. So we are on our way over to the location where he is right now.
Came from North Court today, brother.
Okay, we're explaining. Don't worry about it. We're explaining to him. You assaulted
They're
him.
pink, but they don't look like they go on too easy.
I can't have this done by law. By law.
I am not. My bond has not been revoked. From who? From who?
What don't you understand?
The 101 bail has been exonerated.
has been revoked, sir.
From who?
Any force whatsoever was excessive because he never demonstrated any need for any force whatsoever.
If you tase me, I will fucking headbutt you in the nose.
His lawyer's like, dude, are you kidding me? I'm sitting here trying to make you look like a victim, and now you're threatening to headbutt him while you're handcuffed in pink Handcuffs? Really?
Fight with you guys, I'm not violent. I can fight, dude. I don't want to fight with you guys, I'm not violent. Fucking headbutt you in the nose. I can fight, dude.
He never demonstrated any need for any force whatsoever.
Fucking headbutt you in the nose. Check it out, crooked
Tina said
cunt.
you weren't going to be able to.
Check it out, you crooked cunt.
Sorry, Dad.
Fucking headbutt you in the nose. Crooked cunt, crooked cunt, crooked cunt. I'm not violent.
And the 2 years in prison, that wasn't your gun either? And the 2 years in prison, that wasn't your gun either?
That was mine. I'll admit that was mine.
So that scared us. You
That
came
was
in-
mine. Fucking headbutt you in the nose. Crooked cunt. I'm not violent.
Hey, he's got it on the other eye. I think this is a reverse of a mirror. It's the same eye.
Including a broken nose and damaged eye.
Huh?
Where's your
My
iPad?
iPad's at the house.
I saw it nowhere.
Check it out, dude. Take me to the fucking doctor and you'll see
Quit
it.
yelling.
I'm not totally blind. I'm not totally blind.
Alright, you get the message. I mean, they lucked out of the lawsuit. The guy went out and committed a good crime. I doubt if they'd have won anyway. Like I said, bail agents pretty much have carte blanche. If you get involved with them, you pretty much belong to them, and they can do what they want, how they want, any way they want. And the government's going to protect them because pretty much they're agents of the government. Alright, we'll go ahead and end it there.